It goes by many names: Bigfoot, Almas, Yeren, the Yeti. But the one thing that is consistent is this ape-man-like creature is mysterious and elusive. On May 31st, 2024, my wife and I take a trip from central Wisconsin across the border to the Upper Peninsula. The destination, Menominee, Michigan. The drive takes us through the remote areas of the state. The further north we go, the swampier the terrain gets. With no more paved roads, we begin navigating our way through the back gravel roads of the UP. When we arrive at our destination, we are met by more researchers and investigators, all looking to find evidence of the elusive beast. As we open the gate and round the fence, we begin our hike through the 80 acres of North Woods. Off the beaten path, we enter the woods. Excitement and curiosity fill the air, while still keeping in the back of our minds a lingering sense that we could be the ones that are being watched. Before the sun begins to set, we start the first part of our trek through the woods, with cameras rolling, trying to capture evidence that the hairy man exists. These woods have been known to have Bigfoot activity. Trail cam photos of an anomaly back in 2012 even led to an investigation by the members of Finding Bigfoot. So, with my backpack filled with cameras, gear, and patches, my wife and I joined the first group to head out on the hunt. We initially split into two groups. One group that would walk the trails first, while the second group stayed at the base camp and listened for activity. As the sun begins to fall and darkness creeping in, it becomes hard to see with the naked eye. I bring out my thermal monocular and recording display for their maiden voyage. As I walk and fumble through the settings, I try to also watch my feet so I don't step in a puddle deeper than my boots. Hey, I don't remember how to record on this or if it's going already. Those words don't mean much now, but will definitely have an impact on the outcome of this evening. We continue the hike until one investigator tries to see if he can get a response from initiating some wood knocks. We wait for a response, but to no avail, letting the individuals at the base camp know that those sounds originated from our group. As it continues to get darker, one of the individuals that frequents these trails described tree structures that were found years prior. They range from small to large. While they have tried to preserve them, Mother Nature has beaten them down with storms, snow, and high winds. Continuing to scan the tree line, the thermal camera provides a look into the deep woods. At this time in the evening, you can barely see if there's someone next to you without it. As we continue to walk the trails, we listen to the wildlife that's all around us. As night falls, we make it to the back of the 80-acre property. This area has been known to have the most reports of activity. As we all stop and check out our surroundings, we hear two distinct growls back to back that interrupt the conversation. While the recording does not do justice to just how thundering those growls were, you can hear the other wildlife in the area were sent into a frenzy. Listen.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Is that you or something natural?
Ooh.
That's gotta be coyotes, but oh my god, they're so scared.
So that would be off that side of base camp. That's very close to base. Oh my god. This one.
That was intense.
I've never heard that up here before. We've heard one or two, barking and yapping, but never like that.
They sound like that at your parents' house sometimes, but oh my god, is it the creepiest sounding thing?
So just to check, that was no one at base camp.
Oh,
That wasn't us.
I don't like how dark it is. Friend. Coyotes were pretty creepy. Yeah. Hello. No.
As my wife comes to terms with being in the woods at night, we make the trek back to base camp, led by our torches and camera lights. When we get to the camp, conversations were already being had about the loud growls coming from the woods.
Base camp. Mm-hmm.
Back there at the time. Oh, really? Yeah.
Oh.
They'd be coming this way in.
The first one sounded like he was kind of, and then I thought, oh, maybe he just started him.
The group switch places and it's our turn to go dark. No cameras, no lights. Just listening to what's in the woods around us. My wife sees a shadow dart in the woods in front of us and behind the carport that we are gathered near, but we were not able to see anything more. Before I stash away my thermal camera and recording display, I quickly try a test to see if it was recording previously. I start the device again, and with the menus on screen, I start to record. After a few seconds, I hit stop to confirm it was recording. We then sit in the dark with occasional faint whistles coming from the woods around us, but nothing as prominent as the two growls we heard earlier. Take another listen. As our investigation winds down, we head back to the entrance. Since there's no visibility, I take out my IR binoculars and record as I walk. We then hear a crash off to our right side. Now while the IR footage is shaky, when slowed down I was able to capture a log or branch that was tossed from the darkness and landed near us just off the walking path. After a long night of squatching and hiking, we finish the walk back to the road and hop into our vehicle. We make the long drive in the darkness through the dirt and gravel roads, finally hitting pavement and heading to our hotel. While recounting our adventure to each other on the ride back, we keep an eye out for the eye shine of deer or other creatures looking to cross the road. finally reaching our hotel, we know that our night is now over, but there'll be plenty of footage to review over the coming days. We head back to our home in central Wisconsin. After a little rest and recovery, I begin going through the footage. I finished review of the thermal video, which proves it recorded during the hike. Most of the footage is uneventful, but there are a few moments of small animals such as mice, birds, bats, or who knows, maybe even orbs. One heat signature appears, dissipates into the woods, and reappears, eventually tucking down into the brush and is no longer visible. If you remember from earlier, I was unsure if it was recording at all, as it was my first time using this device. At base camp, I had even done a quick test for only a few seconds to see if it was recording. Unbeknownst to me at the time, behind the menus showing on the recording display during that test, the thermal imager was tracking something in the distance. Behind the carport, and just beyond the wood line, it was watching. We can clearly see its two glowing eyes as it turns its head to the left and then to the right. We add a red filter to help you better see the outline of its shape. Using the thermal camera, my wife and I try to recreate the distance from the campfire to the tree line where the unknown creature was seen. Here is a still image from the thermal camera. And here is a still image of my wife. When side by side, you can see the differences in their thermal temperature. And here we overlap the two images. You can see how much larger the creature is compared to her. My wife measures in at 5'4". Comparing those thermal images would put whatever that was out in the woods at 6'8". So what do you think? Could this have been the elusive Bigfoot? Leave a comment and let me know what you think. Please subscribe, like, and follow our channel to be notified when new videos drop. If you enjoy this content, consider buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/fearthecryptid, or check out my Patreon page at patreon.com/fearthecryptid.